The Saver Foundation works to reduce that stigma. Not only does it help provide jobs for ex-offenders, it helps them become ambassadors of the city. Most of them arrive with nothing but their children, a trash bag full of clothes, and a social stigma that's hard to break. Not only do they see fewer fights, but they have an easier time crossing the streets. They hope that with drama and music, that number will move to 80% by the end of the school year. But one teacher says overhauling an entire school could make those matters worse and break long-lasting friendships. That's why organizers here at LAMP say their work is so important.
Everybody understand? Yes. Okay.
Like most sixth graders, a school day for Brianna Lewis includes taking notes and studying for tests. But unlike some of her peers, she comes to school with more on her mind.
Why is he in jail? Like, what is he doing? One, if he would have been here, would it change? Would it be the same?
Brianna is a student at the Lawndale Community Academy. Her father has been in prison for 3 years. She lives with her mom, but says her teacher, Althea Gordon, is like her second mother.
You see me, you see her. And that's every single day. You know, if not, we on the telephone, we're talking on the phone.
They came together through Chicago's Lawndale Amachi Mentoring Program, or LAMP. The organization pairs mentors with students of incarcerated parents in 13 Chicago schools in Lawndale. Gordon has mentored Brianna for more than 2 years. Her grades turned from C's to A's. Many children in Lawndale share Brianna's story. Research has shown that African American children are 9 times more likely than their white peers to have a parent in prison. That's why organizers here at LAMP say their work is so important.
Whenever a parent is not there, that leaves such a void in the child's life. Now, we don't want the mentors to take the place of the parent, but we do want them to provide a helping relationship to those children.
LAMP Executive Director Betty Green says there are 94 students in the program. Dozens more are on a waiting list. Brianna sees Gordon every day.
She makes me feel like I'm special. Like I'm just someone that can do anything I put my mind up to.
Anything, no matter where her dad lives. For You and Me This Morning, I'm Marissa Mitchell. Every weekday at 6:30, Juan Cruz rallies his team of workers.
Everything's look good, man. They say everything.
They clean and sweep Chicago's State Street and the Loop. But 6 years ago, Cruz says getting a job was next to impossible.
And they have this box on the application, have you ever been convicted of a felony? So, I mean, it said it doesn't discriminate, but then you don't get called back for a second interview.
Now he has a second chance, thanks to the Saver Foundation in downtown. The group that helps ex-offenders with transitional employment just partnered with the Chicago Loop Alliance. The alliance is made up of business owners and property managers who aim to stimulate economic growth in the Loop.
So instead of, tearing down the community, we're building it up.
For 30 years, the Saver Foundation has helped people like Cruz get back on their feet with counseling and support services. But Safer President Diane Williams says changing employers' perceptions is very much a part of changing her clients' lives.
Oftentimes, people believe that the only folks who go to prison are those people who had mental health problems and that sort of murdered people over time. But the great majority of the people in prison today are nonviolent.
The Saver Foundation works to reduce that stigma. Not only does it help provide jobs for ex-offenders, it helps them become ambassadors of the city.
The reality is these people are sort of the first point of contact for a lot of people visiting Chicago.
And workers say that makes them feel a part of the community again.
I get to interact with the guests to the city, the tourists. I get to give directions.
As they work, they embark upon their own roads back to self-sufficiency. Marissa Mitchell, Northwestern News Network. Parents protested outside of CPS headquarters.
If they take these teachers away, these kids don't have nobody.
Taking teachers away is part of a turnaround plan for some of CPS' most troubled schools. The idea is that CPS would fire staff and hire new teachers and administrators. Charles Deneen Elementary is on the list of turnaround schools. Teachers Union President Marilyn Stewart says Deneen just received millions of dollars in federal funding and hasn't had a chance to show what it can do.
Well, people who are data-driven You don't change an experiment in the last year and expect the results not to be negatively affected.
Inside CPS headquarters, school board members heard hours of public testimony from parents, teachers, and aldermen.
Think about what something as dramatic and drastic as this action will do to children who are already growing up in a tumultuous situation.
Teachers, instead of being utilized, they're being bashed, discredited, intimidated, and filled with anxiety. Do you call this a culture of calm?
Violence and low academic scores are reasons for the turnaround. That's what CPS officials told staff here at Deneen Elementary. But one teacher says overhauling an entire school could make those matters worse and break long-lasting friendships.
They don't want to leave, you know, we're like family. We all been here together. Some I watched from kindergarten, you know, all the way to 7th and 8th grade.
Carolyn Kelly hopes to continue watching students grow by teaching them at the school she has called home for more than 20 years. The teachers union vows to sue the school board if it fires teachers in this turnaround plan. Marissa Mitchell, Northwestern News Network.